On this episode of Brooklyn Versus, we're talking about the one and only true Brooklyn team. That's right, we're talking Brooklyn Nets and their rising potential. So please like, share, and subscribe to the Bridgeside Network. Let's get the debate going. Go Bridgeside! Welcome one and all to another edition of Brooklyn Versus. I'm your host, Dr. Philly Kaggs. I got Chris Cross Lazaro. I got this left, Chris Gudadero. I remembered it correctly. There we go.
There you go.
Brand new, another fresh face to the Brooklyn Verse crew. But tonight, from, I want to say popular demand, but it might have been just like one or two people who are clamoring for Nets talk. No, I'm kidding. We're going to the roots of Brooklyn. There's very, very few teams in Brooklyn. The Islanders kind of play, and now they're getting divorced with Brooklyn after a very short marriage. So we have a Brooklyn team, our one and only Brooklyn team, I would say, is the Brooklyn Nets. And they've turned the page quite quickly. And that's where I want to jump onto first about this team, is that they moved from Jersey, they moved to Brooklyn. They came in kind of like house on fire, got Garnett, got Pierce, boom, and tried to hit the ground running in Brooklyn. And it didn't go so well. And then they had to... In your opinion. Yeah, in anyone's opinion. It didn't go so well.
Playoffs the first
year. They did playoffs, yeah. And then the team was stripped down because they traded for Garnett and Pierce, and they had nothing. And they've kind of come from the ashes pretty quickly, in my opinion. So, Chris, how impressive has this turnaround been for now we're sitting with the Brooklyn Nets in the NBA playoffs in 2019?
Well, just as far as the team, rather than going the direction of what they're doing for Brooklyn and the Barclays Center in general, just team-wise, the turnaround is extremely surprising, actually.
Just the basketball-wise.
My father had season tickets for all these years, and then about 2 years ago he got rid of them, and then now they got better. The thing is, nobody saw this coming because D'Angelo Russell all of a sudden became an all-star, and all year long I keep telling people he's not going to keep it up, and he continues to prove me wrong throughout the regular season and now in the playoffs. Game 1 has happened already against the 76ers, and he put on a show. And it's not only a one-man team either. They're hard-nosed, gritty players with LeVert and LeVert's out, but
but he was part of the team,
and Jared Allen and Joe Harris won the three-point shootout, and then one more guy who's huge for them.
Russell always had the potential. He was the number 2 pick of the draft. He kind of just needed to change his scenery. But I just want to give another brief history. If you're an NBA fan, you know that the Brooklyn Celtics always have draft capital. They always have a first-round pick. They make the playoffs, they still have the first pick.
Brooklyn Nets.
The Boston Celtics.
The Celtics.
Okay, sorry. The Celtics, I apologize. The Celtics always have draft capital. Why? It's because the Nets gave them all their first-round picks. And then when they did it, in the years that they do have a pick, they have to swap. So the Nets gave up everything for Garnett and Pierce. So they've really been rebuilding. Yes,
their careers,
they have been rebuilding without draft picks, essentially. First-round draft picks. So their picks that they've had to make have had to be precision picks. Their room for error is so small because they can't miss. They made a great trade for D'Angelo Russell. But I'm gonna ask Chris, because I think Chris Cross made a good point, is that he said they play as a team, and I really think it comes from the top down. I think they put the right people in place. So do you think a lot of it comes from the coaching, the general manager, and all that?
Well, that's always key when it comes to teams. I mean, like I said, you look at somebody like Luke Walton. When he took over the Warriors team for that little bit when Steve Kerr had a surgery, that team was phenomenal. And now he has this young team with the Lakers, although LeBron was hurt. Yeah. And you just couldn't fix it.
He doesn't even have the Lakers anymore. He has the Kings now.
He's with the Kings now. He's with the Kings. But to a certain extent, yes, putting all the right pieces together, that's huge. That's huge. But sometimes you can't always give them the talent, though. The team is supposed to working together, which they have. And watching Game 1, that was amazing. Like when they kept, Embiid was
8.5-point underdogs. Let's point out.
Yes. I think the smartest thing they did
on the road.
Their GM they hired, Sean Marks, was a product of Popovich and came from the San Antonio Spurs. If you're gonna pluck someone from, that's like no. Yeah. It's like
the Patriots.
Yeah, it's like when the NFL they pull some guy. Oh, he used to work for the Patriots. Oh, we trust him. Because you just do. If you're in that franchise, do. So we pluck someone from the Spurs. you already got a leg up against other people. You just trust that person a little bit more. Sean Marks, Kenny Atkinson. I really think it has.
Mikhail Prokhorov.
Oh, that's if we're talking. We're trying to talk about the revival, not the downfall of the Brooklyn Nets.
You know,
I
will just like throw this out there and kind of leave it either rhetorical if anybody wants to respond. I know it's your job, but the 5 years ago when they got Garnett and Pierce, when the jersey used to fit me nicer, you know. It had huge mixed opinions from the Brooklyn fan base, whether or not some people love the getting Pierce and Garnett and Gerald Wallace and Darren Williams. We already had Darren Williams and Brook Lopez, but some people love getting and Garnett and Pierce. Maybe it could have pushed them over the top, the Heat dynasty at the time. And some people hated it because they traded all their draft picks. So I can't.
People who hated it were right.
Yeah, I mean, you know, hindsight is 2020.
They did make the playoffs the first 3 years as Brooklyn.
They upset the Raptors one of those years, and
I think the first year as Brooklyn, I think they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
I know, but when you don't look at the long game and you give the short game, you don't win the. Those moves were made for a championship. So you made the playoffs. That's good. And I understand you want to say maybe it wasn't just for a championship because they just were going to Brooklyn, so you had to make a splash. So I do understand that. But man, did Danny Ainge really hold their feet to the fire?
It was unsuccessful, but at the time...
I'm just saying, and I understand the point of having to do it, like you're saying, but he really held their feet to the fire to get as many draft picks as they did. There's still, I believe this is the first year they're finally not having the ramifications of it. And
they have 4 picks this year and 3 next year.
Yeah, so they finally aren't.
And then they're back on track,
But I really do think it's remarkable, and I think it's laughable. We'll get into this a little bit. I'll throw a little tease. It is absolutely, I'm looking right at the camera, it's absolutely laughable what the Nets are doing compared to the Knicks. The Knicks have had everything of all the picks they've needed. They've had Phil Jackson. They've had anyone they possibly, and nothing. And the Nets have been operating with half a basket because their draft picks are all gone, and they put together a better team than the Knicks. But
neither here nor there.
We'll get to that in a moment.
It is laughable.
Worst Knicks team ever.
Yeah, I know.
The worst.
Well, we're gonna go back down memory lane a little bit with the Nets. We're gonna talk about the history of the Nets. You know, they haven't had that many great players. I'm gonna say they've had a lot of great players. They haven't had too many great players, but they have had some shining stars from their time in New York in the ABA. Then they went to New Jersey in the NBA, and now they're back into Brooklyn. You know, still in the NBA, obviously. But we're gonna talk about the greatest Nets of all time. So I'm going to go not to Chris Cross, but to Chris G, I guess. We're going to differentiate. Who would you put if I had to ask you for the greatest Nets player of all time?
There's a few I have in mind, but I think, I'm going to have to go with Dr. J.
Okay, going to the ABA days.
ABA days, yes. He got 2 championships, the only championships the Nets ever have. They had
no
2 finals, no
NBA
NBA championships. They had 2 great seasons where they made it to the finals. They lost 2 years in a row, unfortunately.
To good teams.
To very good teams. Kobe in his prime.
Yeah. Shaq too.
Yes, Shaq also. Shaq was with him.
And the Spurs.
And the Spurs.
The 5 championship Spurs.
Tim Duncan. I think they still had David Robinson.
I think that might have been
one of those years.
Last year, right?
Last year.
I think his last year beat the Knicks also.
They were stacked. They had Sean Elliott.
Yes.
A bunch of guys.
Yeah. But, I mean, Dr. J, I think he averaged about 27 points per game when he was with the Nets.
Well, Dr. J is one of the greatest ball players of all time.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with saying Dr. J.
You can't go wrong.
So, I agree with you. So we'll go to Chris Cross. I got to narrow it down a little bit.
Different opinion.
So why don't we say the greatest Nets NBA player then?
Okay.
Hey, we can narrow it down even more and say who played in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Or we could say, all right. I mean, there's a few names we have to throw out there. We have to throw out Drazen Petrovic because Reggie Miller said Drazen was the best shooter he's ever seen.
A lot of people do say that.
Now, this is before Steph Curry's time, but still the guy was an automatic shooter. Yeah. Fun fact about him.
He didn't play nearly long enough. He was tragically taken way too soon.
Fun fact about him, not to give him a low blow or anything, but the NBA players said that he smelled really bad. I'm just throwing it out there. Yeah, they said he stunk all the time. Like a different, not sweat smell, just the worst smell.
I was saying they're all sweaty, so.
I said tragically taken too soon.
I said this is a fun fact. You gotta go. Jason Kidd, most people will put as the best net of all time, and his dynasty with the taking that team to the taking that team to the championship. Kenya Martin, Kerry Kittles,
Derek Coleman.
Those were earlier
though.
Kenny Anderson and Coleman.
But other great players though.
But that team. There's somebody that I'm missing. Hold on.
Richard
Keith
Jefferson?
Van Horn. That's who I was
Van Horn.
mentioning.
Richard
Richard Jefferson.
But Jefferson was a good player.
Good play, solid players, but still, I think a little bit beyond their.
The team was trash without him. Let's squad with
Without him.
cutting corners without Kid. I know you're saying
Oh, of course. Yeah, basically,
Solid
yes.
The team was
Solid
trash without him.
Yes.
Yeah, let's
and
be honest
the
about it.
center, Jason Williams, the accidental murder,
Yeah.
and Jason Collins, the first openly gay player.
Yes.
Look at it, there's a lot of firsts on the Nets.
Yeah.
A lot
Look,
of firsts.
the Nets, I have to say Kid as well. Because that team, I want to say they won like 26 games the year before they had Kid, when they had Marbury. They
Oh
traded
boy!
Marbury.
We got a whole topic
They
about
traded
Yeah.
Marbury for Kid, and then the team I think they doubled their win total. They went to the
Yep,
finals.
went to the finals.
That team is not that good. Kenny Martin is one of the worst number one picks. I don't
But he
say the
was
worst, 'cause
great, though. He
there
was
are some
great.
bad
Kenny
was
busts.
a good-
But Kenny Martin, but you got Kenny Martin, so I'll take that back. Kenny Martin, Kerry Kittles, those are not
role
none
players.
Of those,
Role
yeah,
players.
At best, role players.
And listen to the
And Kid
competition in the East at the time. You had the Pacers who were still
You had
really
the Pistons
good.
who beat the Lakers a couple of
Pacers.
years later.
Yep.
You had good
And Wallace
teams.
team.
Then Vince Carter came to the team, but that was after they went to the finals. Vince Carter's a very, very good player. I don't think he was in his. He played with the Nets.
He was
He
was
played
in his
21
prime
years now.
probably.
He's still playing.
still playing.
Which blows my mind. He's still playing.
It's
Who's going to
unbelievable.
retire first? Him or
He's
Tom
41.
Brady?
That's a great
Who's gonna
question.
retire first?
Tom Brady's got another 4 more years.
That's true.
But Vince Carter, he was very good on the Nets. When you think of Vince Carter, you do think of his Raptors, but he was very good on the Nets for a good amount of time. But I think Kid changed the culture of that team, and it didn't last long because they had to change arenas in Jersey, and then they had one foot out of the door going into Brooklyn. So kind of that culture never
That hurt the
really
team a
had a
lot.
chance to set in. But he completely turned that. They were a laughingstock. He came in and they were making finals. So I mean, if there's nothing better you can do that. Petrovic could have been, if he was around for longer, was able to play for longer. Then you had Derek Coleman, Kenny Anderson, guys that never really put the team together to
Yeah,
win.
they were maybe a 8, 7, 6 seed at the Coleman and
this is-
I
Anderson
don't think
time
they
in the
ever
early
got out of the
90s.
first round with
Yeah.
Coleman.
I tell you,
either,
if
that team.
the Nets now can continue on this trajectory that they're showing, making the right moves, like you mentioned D'Angelo Russell, that was a fantastic move. You could look back at that trade and say, wow, the Nets pulled one over. They traded Lopez, and this guy was number 2 pick, and he just didn't fit in with Los Angeles. He had a lot of locker room issues, and now whether he's got his head on straight, whatever, he's playing to his potential. So you can look at the trade and say, wow, the Nets really pulled one over on the Lakers. If they can continue on this trajectory, they could, it's a big could, put together their best stretch
The only
of
thing else-
time in their Nets team. Because we're talking about New Jersey, bang, they made the finals and they kind of trailed off a little bit. This could be it for them.
The only I'm going to give the unpopular opinion here because as much as they've overperformed this year, I am still going to consider it an overperformance. And I'm sorry, but I still think that the Sixers are going to knock them out this round. But what I will say is that for the Nets dynasty to continue, even though they have these
can we-
not dynasty,
I
I'm
can't
sorry.
say dynasty with
No,
that.
I'm not,
No
wrong
way.
word. For the Nets success to continue.
Better.
This group of guys is not going to get it done. They have the cap
They need
space to
more.
get 2 free max free agents.
Yes.
They're gonna if they want to sustain, especially the Eastern Conference is getting stacked with
You
the
think
Bucks.
they'll go after
So-
Durant?
Of course they're going to go after Durant.
Will
and
they
Kyrie.
get him though? That's the.
They're not going to get him. They're not.
That's always-
He's going to the Knicks. He's probably going to the Knicks or the Lakers.
Why does everybody say the Knicks?
See, here's something.
More
The
popular.
but if anything, the Nets are showing that they know how to. They know how to put together a team. They're well run. They know how to play basketball. You look at the Knicks, you actually don't know if they know how to play basketball. The Nets know how to
We
play
might be able to beat
basketball.
them.
Yeah. The Nets know what's going on. They play the right way. And look, and I'm not a big on moral victories, but even if the Nets don't beat the Sixers in this playoff series, which is in likelihood they will lose, I don't think it's really that devastating. You're right. They did overachieve. But when you overachieve like that, now you can attract those free agents. And that comes to, I just want to jump, I'm going to jump to the next point,
Which
on
is
something you said.
Yeah.
You said Durant will be going to the Knicks or the Lakers. So, it's a popular opinion. I don't think there's any chance he's going to the Lakers, by the way. He's not going to play with LeBron. But
Clippers. He might be going to the Clippers.
Okay,
yeah.
that is...
Not the Nets. He's not. I don't think he's going to the
The
Nets.
Clippers more.
Yeah.
But you mentioned that, he's going to the Knicks. And everyone New York is a Knicks town. As bad as this team is. And the Knicks, for me, I have to say the Knicks are spoiled that we still love them because they're doing nothing essentially they're doing nothing. They sell out the Garden when they win 6 games a year or what, 14, 20. Doesn't matter, they sell out the Garden. So we spoil them. But it's, the Nets are in Brooklyn now. And the Nets are playing well. And we're saying that maybe they can put something together. We could put a couple of years together where they have success. Do you think the Nets ever have a chance of usurping? That's a little Game of Thrones term right there.
Stop it. Stop it. Just stop it.
The Knicks as the king
dethroning
of
them?
New York. If they sit on the throne of New York, do the Nets ever have a chance?
I'm going to say no.
So you don't think there's anything they could do?
Of course. I mean, they would have to win championships which right now, in my opinion, that's not going to happen. There's too many better teams out there than them. We got the Celtics. Maybe they'll beat the Sixers. I don't think they're going to beat the Sixers this series either. But for now, it looks like...
Well, not just for this year. In like 10,
right.
15 years, do you think they'll ever take over the Knicks?
The New York Knicks have too much history, and it's Madison Square Garden, right, in Manhattan. And me growing up near the Barclays Center, and just the area that the Barclays Center is compared to... Manhattan itself, Brooklyn. It seems like Brooklyn is more the artsy area surrounding it, and Manhattan, like people are always in Midtown Manhattan. So
that's the best thing the Knicks have.
The ticket prices are 4 times the amount at the Garden. So I mean, there's a
that
reason why.
Help them. Yeah, I know.
But what I'm saying is that people are going to support the Knicks no matter what. They're the key to sports
ticket prices. I remember we talking about the Pro Bowl. You wanted only rich people to go to the game.
You're taking that completely out of context.
No.
And Bridgeside people, go back and review the tape. Look on instant replay. We'll come with the conclusive decision on that one. Okay? Shout out to Stephen James and Paul,
and the NBA.
Producer.
Yeah.
Sports talk radio in New York is always going to be about the Knicks. The newspapers are going to be about the Knicks. If newspapers are still around in 15, 20 years, I don't know. Maybe only the rich will be able to get newspapers.
Not that the Nets won't have more success.
Yeah, of course they can put a bet. And the Clippers are doing the same things with the Lakers. The Clippers are doing the same thing with the Lakers in LA. They're putting everything together the right way, just like the Nets are doing.
We'll talk about that for a second. Talk about overachieving. That's a team that overachieved.
Yeah.
But okay, so I'll ask you. You talk about sports radio. I agree with you. But probably no one's really even talking about the Nets in sports. So you got the Yankees, you got the Mets going on. The Nets signed Durant.
Yeah.
Do you think they get talked about more than
Absolutely.
So all of a sudden, wait. So they just dethrone the Knicks by just signing Durant?
They don't dethrone the Knicks.
Okay.
But if the Nets get Durant, do you think that team's going to win the championship?
I think they absolutely can.
They have a shot.
No, they still need a lot. This league is too darn good.
Okay, hold on. Wait. How many wins do you think Durant himself is worth? Well, think about
First of all, he couldn't even win. I know Harden was very young and Westbrook was young. He couldn't win a title.
Oh, he lost to LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh.
The league, there's teams that are as good as that Heat team right now.
So, what do you think? Would they win like 40? The Nets won
about 40. It depends. Only Durant, or you're talking another free agent too?
Nets won 500 this year, correct?
42 and 40, I believe is the record. Yeah.
How many wins do you think Durant's worth? If you just
him?
You just plop Durant on this team.
50.
So you think they go up to 50?
8 more games.
Okay. So they go up to 50 wins. So now you talk about top 3 seed, they got home court advantage.
No. Maybe 4 seed.
If they win 50 games, they're popping into the home court advantage.
The Bucks are there to stay with Giannis.
Okay.
Who
have yet to do anything yet. Hold on. Who have yet to do anything yet. This is their first good year. Let's give them a chance to prove themselves, the Bucks. They gotta go somewhere.
Giannis is the real deal.
I love Giannis, and so is Durant. Giannis is great. Okay, the Raptors haven't done anything. I know they got a new look team now, but they have a history of doing nothing. The Celtics, they could be losing Kyrie this year.
Possibly.
Okay, and I know that actually might help them, but let's say they might be losing Kyrie. So you have the Nets, who played well as a 6 seed, with LeVert was hurt a lot of the year. Dinwiddie got hurt this year. So now you put together a full team with Durant. You're looking at a team that and now you said they have room for 2 max players.
If they get another max, they're going to go to the championship.
If you sign Durant, they definitely get another max player, obviously, right? If you sign Durant,
you can't say definitely.
Coming.
You can't say probably, but you can't say definitely.
Someone's going to come with Durant. Just like the Knicks say, if we sign Durant,
hold on. There's only a few guys who are max contract guys that are even good enough to put in that category. Like you put Kemba Walker, you put Kyrie Irving.
If they sign Durant, I bet you they could sign someone like Kemba Walker. Okay.
then they're definitely in contention for the East.
So now-
but just Durant, no.
So now say, if
Kemba's
just
a
Durant,
star, man.
Not just
Kemba's
Durant.
a star.
No. They need more than
I
Durant.
disagree with you guys. I think they're definitely in contention in the East if they have Durant on that team.
I totally
Definitely
disagree.
contention. Dude.
Because look at the team. Okay,
They can't contend with the Bucks.
but the Bucks
And the
Giannis-
Sixers, they can't contend with-
outside of the Bucks. So say you have Durant and Giannis, right? And say Durant's on the Nets. You have Durant and Giannis, both fantastic players. You could put them on the same tier. Giannis is a little bit above him now, but they're on the same tier. The teams surrounding them, the Bucks aren't that great.
I think the
surrounding
Bucks
him.
are much better than the Nets.
And the Nets aren't. That's
Brook Lopez, Bledsoe, Chris Middleton, Mirotic, these guys are good, man.
okay.
guys
Dinwiddie,
are good.
D'Angelo Russell, these guys are good too. Like those guys that you mentioned, Brook Lopez is good. The Nets got rid of him. Yeah, he turned to a good
He
three-point
became
shooter.
a much better
He
player
turned
somehow.
to a great
My-
three-point shooter.
My point with Durant, though, as far as making the Nets that much better, Durant, through his whole history, he has had all-stars surrounding him.
Thank you.
He's had, when he's with the Thunder, he had Harden and Westbrook.
Yeah.
Then
Serge
Harden
Ibaka.
left. Yeah, but then he still had, I believe he still had Ibaka and Westbrook.
Yeah.
Then he goes to the Golden State and
I know.
unstoppable.
I think him.
Like, that says it all.
Couldn't stand that move that he went to the Warriors. But to take away his greatness is foolish. To say
Absolutely.
he's
Top
not
five
that
player,
good.
definitely.
He's
Definitely.
top
That's what I'm
five.
saying.
I'd put him
To
top
say
five
is foolish.
easily.
I couldn't stand the move that he went to the Warriors because he didn't have to.
He ruined the NBA.
Yeah.
For these years, it's not competitive.
I
It's not
understand.
competitive. He ruined the NBA.
If he goes to the Nets, they're absolutely a contender in the East. To say they're not a contender in the East is just saying. I mean, that's.
That's okay. That's fair, but I'll say this: they're not a. They're just
So if
Durant,
you
in
have
my
Net-
opinion,
if you have-
they're not
if
a
you have
contender to win the
Durant- If you
championship.
have Durant and Kemba Walker for the next 5 to 6 years, do you think that can set a tone where they take over New York or from the Knicks?
That's a good.
Because if the Nets get Durant and Kemba, obviously the Knicks don't. And unless
Knicks
the
are
Knicks get
Knicks.
Zion Williamson,
They're gonna
That's
get.
the only- they need no one
either
pick, though.
Zion or John.
yeah,
Morant,
but they need
That's not going
Zion-
to turn the team around.
But
They're
they-
better than
no,
what they
but
are
they
now.
need Zion
but-
for the culture of Zion.
yes.
That's why they need Zion. Then you get the other players. But if they don't get Zion, and they don't get a big free agent contender, and the Nets get the two big guys, and they put together 6 years of great basketball, now you're looking at kids growing. Now you're looking at younger kids growing up and seeing two New York teams, and one's bad and one's good. So like, oh, they might start siding with the Nets.
Maybe it's just it's been so lopsided for so long. Maybe it is hard for me and other people to see the
Lopsided
light
with what though?
with popularity.
Oh, popularity, yes, because the product has not been lopsided. They've both
No,
been
of
bad.
course not. the Nets, the Nets and the Knicks went to the same amount of finals in the last 25, 30 years. They both went to 2. You know, like same exact.
From '94, yeah, because they went to that '94.
The Knicks went in 01 and 94, and the Nets went 01 and
94,
02.
99.
99, and the Nets went 01 and
They
02,
lost-
yeah.
They got swept by
But
the
anyway, the
Spurs,
point
yeah.
is they went to basically the teams have been
Oh, I understand.
pretty
They've been
comparable.
trash.
Actually, the Nets have been a little better
would
because
say
the
the Nets have been better.
Knicks have missed the playoffs.
Yes, I would say the Knicks have been. The Nets have been better. But what it comes down to is that you have to put a sustained run together to really like change a generation of fans. That's the key.
Absolutely.
And the Knicks have to stay bad. I mean, if you're a Nets fan, that's what you want. The Knicks, I mean, they'll just keep going on their own way. They got to get Zion.
But
They
think
gotta
about
get
it
number
this
one
way.
pick.
I will
That's what they
say
need. The draft lottery is a huge day.
They can't
for a
get
Knicks
worse
fan.
than this year. And
Yeah.
if they do, then
No,
yeah,
this
then
is the best year they've had. I think this is the best year they've had in a while because
Yeah.
they finally went in full tank mode. These last couple of years where they were losing but not losing enough games, that's not the way to turn your team around. You got to do what the Sixers do. When the Sixers did, where they just
They did,
tanked the
yeah.
process. They tanked, and now you got to hope for the number one pick.
I'm not a fan of losing seasons, so I never want to
Trust
lose.
the process.
They've had 15 straight, or whatever the
Right.
straight
They
losing
all-
seasons. And think about how many straight years the Knicks have lost, and they haven't had a top 3 pick. Why? Because they keep winning like 30 games, 27 games, while teams
The
lose.
worst.
Yeah.
Middle of-
yeah,
teams flat
exactly.
out lose.
So, exactly. This is what you had to do. Whether you're a fan of losing games, you were going to lose anyway. So you had to just hit the bottom. You have to hit the bottom.
Yes, I see your point. I'd still rather see 30 wins as opposed to 10 or 15 wins.
That's a
But
short-sighted answer. If you say, what are you gonna get
Tough.
for the
That's a
30
whole lot of
wins? What are you
wins.
gonna get for the unless you hire Sean Marks and Kenny Atkinson to turn the Nets around because the Nets had nothing to tank for. They didn't have the picks.
Yeah.
They couldn't tank.
I just want to throw this last thought
Yeah,
out there because
last
I know we
point,
got to wrap
exactly,
up. But maybe this is a little stretch, but it's worth noting. when the Nets got Garnett and Pierce, even though they were past their prime, they were still those huge name guys, and it did not.
That was a business standpoint. That was a business move. Even though they were still great,
It was a business move. You're right.
it was to sell tickets too.
Yeah, a splash.
Yeah,
you just
my
come,
opinion.
come
But a
to
darn-
New York,
yeah.
that's right.
But a
You're coming
darn
to
thing,
Brooklyn.
it did not change. It did not change how the media in New York, sports talk radio, focused on the Knicks over the Nets. The Nets get almost no attention, even with those star names.
Right. That's a great last point because it could be an insurmountable mountain.
Yeah.
But that's where we are on can the Nets make it over the Knicks. But that might be real life. But in Brooklyn verse, we're going to have a battle in New York. That's what we're going to do. We got the Brooklyn Nets versus the New York Knicks, NBA Live 2019.
do
We
it.
got updated rosters. We got everything. So
D'Angelo's going to be dope,
D'Angelo's on the
basically.
game.
D'Angelo's
You guys
gonna be
almost
We got it
resume
set
game.
up.
Who's the Nets and who's the Knicks?
I'll be playing the
on the
Knicks.
Nets, huh?
Okay, we got Chris G as the
All right.
Knicks, and we got Chris Cross as
Won the
he's got
tip-off.
the jersey, Knicks. Oh, Dotson. Oh, yeah, that's a good team. But anyway,
Oh.
here's the three-point. Oh,
Yeah.
knocks
Wet.
it down
Good start.
already.
Let's go.
Damian Dotson, 3 right in your eye. There we go.
Guess what, though?
we go.
Double team.
D'Angelo's had a fire year.
D'Angelo.
Oh, man.
Oh, you know what? I'll go in the post. All right.
No one goes to the post anymore. It's just three-pointers all day.
Who the heck is that guy?
Yeah, exactly.
do.
Oh, okay.
Who is
That's
that
the
guy? That's got to be a
Kurtz.
made up guy.
Dennis Smith Jr. I did like the
Is
trade
he
the Knicks
injured?
made when they got rid of Porzingis
Cross court half.
and freed up for 2 max. free
Yeah, I
agents.
didn't think he was going to win us a
All the
championship.
key is the dominoes start with Zion. If they get Zion, they get free agents. If they
get
don't,
somebody.
forget about it. Oh, stop! Oh, Kevin Knox, who showed signs of potential.
Oh,
There's
spotted.
another guy who just made that block, Mitchell Robinson. That's a guy I like on the Knicks. They got to keep him. You could build around
up.
him as a nice defensive role player who could put in some
Another
points.
block.
Oh, but I mean, there's no offense in this game. Apparently, it's all block shots.
All block
Allen
shots.
For 3. Oh,
Rebound.
That was Allen. Oh,
it was a
Oh,
tip
man.
again. No, it said early release.
I'm forgetting the controls here. That's what.
Allen Crabbe.
yeah, we're just learning the
Oh,
controls.
to D'Angelo Russell.
No, D'Angelo, don't force it.
Also, yeah.
Don't force it,
Time to
D'Angelo.
shake and bake.
I love the lines. You guys don't even know what's going on.
No
D'Angelo
idea.
gets free.
Oh, come on.
Knocks down the
Shake and bake.
three-pointer.
This kid's cheating now.
D'Angelo.
Cheating.
I know. By the way, Chris said that he's just getting used to the controls. I believed in the practice. He said, "Oh, these are the controls I know."
No, what I remember.
What I said
What I
was, I'm
remember.
playing
Three again, same spot.
NBA 2K, I think is the name of the game that I
Get that.
my cousin and my brothers forced me to play.
Oh,
And
Alright.
it
Give him
has
help, give him
similar
help.
controllers to this, but
Another
not,
block.
not
Another
exactly
block.
the same.
what a block that was from the weak side.
was a hell of
Here
a
comes
block.
Dennis Smith.
I was
to
always a
DeAndre
defensive
Jordan.
player.
Jordan to Dotson.
My guys are
Dotson.
just
Somebody's
kicks to
open.
Kevin
This
Knox.
is
Knox.
Oh, on the way
Looked
down.
late. Oh,
get that
rebound
rebound.
Allen. Allen kicks to the Crab. Crab
10
looking to push.
seconds.
Here
Oh,
comes-
Allen Crabbe,
spin
one of the
move.
most underrated
7 seconds
shooters in the
left.
league.
Oh, Crab
Block
got,
him.
got a free lane. Lays it in with 4 seconds left. And the Brooklyn
Jesus.
Nets against the Knicks, this is a commanding
7-3.
4-point lead. Because
This is like in real life.
Smith, quick three.
Quick release. Oh, in and out.
At the buzzer, but
Oh,
it
I
rings
get the
out.
rebound too.
Look at D'Angelo.
He hit his
pumping
first-
his hands.
Hit his first shot of the game and then missed
I
them
haven't
all
scored
after.
since.
So
That's
NBA
a
on
typical
ESPN.
Knicks season. Is that not the Knicks
D'Angelo
this
Russell.
season?
Oh, it looks like he
Shake
had
and
a
bake.
little, looks like he had a little daylight, but he brings it back out.
He wasn't facing the
Russell
basket.
spins. Oh, spins back to Crabbe. Crabbe back to Russell to reset. Russell keeps
this
doing
is
these pivoting spin moves. Out to we don't even know this guy.
I'm in help defense. I'm not controlling the guy
to
guarding the
Crabbe.
ball anymore.
4 seconds left on the shot clock. Harris, the three-point shooting
He's got to
champ.
hoist it up.
Oh, come on.
Joe Harris hits it with the shot clock running down. Jordan to Dennis Smith Jr. The Knicks have not been able to get anything going.
How do I do?
Hashtag wear Jordan. That's all it says. We are Jordan. I'm sorry. But to Jordan. Now to that DeAndre
Chris,
Jordan,
I
I'm
will
sure that's something
say,
to talk about.
kind of knowing
Knox.
the controllers
Ooh,
definitely.
Yeah, and
definitely
rings
gives
in.
me a
Was that
little
a three?
advantage.
That's
Oh,
all
it
right.
looked like his
Things
foot was
I
on the
don't know.
line, but
No
they got
way.
the three-pointer.
Nah, that was a 3.
Russell, maybe they might check that out. Russell,
Oh,
wide
leaving him
open
wide
for three.
open.
But he blitz it.
Misfires.
Smith
And it's only a
tries to
one-possession
push.
game after all that.
Tries to push here. Oh, it gets stopped to Knox. Knox.
Come on, look.
Oh, DeAndre Jordan to Dotson. Back to Smith Jr.
good.
for
Go.
three. No good. DeAndre can't get the rebound. Here comes Allen to
thought he was like
Crabbe.
7'3".
Crabbe
I did
brings
not
it up.
get that.
Crabbe pulls up.
Shake and bake.
That's all they're doing, shaking and
Get it.
baking.
Shake and bake. That's
Shake
it.
and bake. Allen.
Big man loses
did
the
you
ball.
Did you see the? Oh, that just the middle just became
How do
wide
you
open.
miss a layup, dude?
Did you see that like 3-game stretch where Allen like blocked Giannis,
Yeah.
LeBron? and
Yeah,
who's the
nice
other
down
guy?
the middle.
Oh, Dennis Smith, and that's a 1-point game.
All right.
The Knicks have mounted a little
33
comeback.
seconds. These are the quickest quarters I've
These
ever
are
played.
2-minute quarters, baby. That's all the Knicks
Oh,
deserve.
man.
Come on. Oh, Russell makes it all the way in. And we got a 3-point game.
That was a 2 for 1, by the way, for all you.
Let's go. Let's tie this at halftime.
Dennis Smith to Dotson to Kevin Knox.
Why are these guys running?
He's left
like,
open.
I don't understand.
Oh, looks
Bang.
like his
Why
foot's
are
on
they
the line.
running so
Oh, Jordan.
Dunks it in on the rebound.
Put back.
17
That's
seconds
why the Knicks
left.
got him.
Knicks got, yeah. Wasn't a salary dump, right? Yeah, Russell. Oh, tries
Charge.
to go. Oh.
And one.
Shooting
And
foul.
one. Wow.
Maybe was he in a
That was
circle?
an interesting
It
call.
was an interesting call by Chris
Yeah,
to
see,
take it
he's
to the
arguing
lane
it.
with 12 seconds left. Not hold for the last shot, but it.
Honestly, I'll be honest, I
doesn't
tried to
matter.
pass it at the last second.
It pays off.
Yeah, it looked like DeAndre flopped.
He's going to
I
the
was trying to see
foul
if his
line.
feet was in a circle.
If only I
If he
knew
were
I
in the
should-
He's
circle.
going to the foul line. I'm not sure how to shoot. Oh,
you go.
yeah, he doesn't know how to shoot free throws.
darn
Bang,
good.
perfect.
What can you say? I'm naturally gifted.
That's what
Let's
it
hold
is.
this for one.
We need Stephen James here to continue this rivalry. But Dennis Smith.
I'm undefeated against that chump.
Oh, those are fighting.
I know he hears me in the control room.
Dennis Smith for 3.
Bang.
That's nonsense. It was heavily
From
contested.
downtown.
Get up.
It's good.
Oh, almost.
We got
It's only a
we gotta
The
1-point
get-
Knicks have
game.
cut it to a 1-point game.
I bet the under in this game.
at halftime.
Did you?
14
Yeah.
What was it?
Well, the
28
total.
and a half for the first half.
That's
I just covered with the buzzer beater.
We're
Yeah.
skipping the highlights. Here we go. Right to D'Angelo. D'Angelo pushing. We reverse court. Russell for a quick 3-pointer, and it's
Jeez.
good. That's the NBA nowadays.
D'Angelo is like fire in real life, so maybe they like
That's
change
the
his
NBA
settings in
nowadays.
his-
Rodions Kurics. That's the guy we were trying to figure out. Dotson kicks it to Smith Jr. Jr. for 3.
Get it in his face. There we go.
Ooh, that was a
Oh, it was a
two-pointer.
2.
It was a
Oh, I
two,
should have
foot
pressed
on
for the
line.
instant replay.
Foot on the line. Worst shot in basketball when your foot's on the line. D'Angelo
That
doing
is
some
true.
spin moves with nobody on him. Russell wants to make sure his foot's on the line. Left wide
leaves
open.
him wide open?
Oh my God. Well, he's going to hit that all day if you let him.
Oh, yeah.
D'Angelo Russell, 14 of the Nets.
I was
20
controlling
points.
DeAndre Jordan, though. That shouldn't
That's
have
not a
happened.
coincidence either.
Smith Jr.
I'm
brings
feeding
it.
the beast.
He's
Feeding the
beast.
Russell.
Russell has Knox for 3. No good.
Ah.
Allen kicks it to Russell. Russell brings it in. Oh, stops. Russell trying to make a move. Did he call for a screen? No, he didn't. He calls for a screen.
Good
Probably have a wide
defense.
open shot. Oh, Smith
go,
trying
get
to
him.
move. Oh, to Joe Harris, 3-point champ. Russell trying to make a little move on Smith. Russell makes the move. DeAndre with a good help
Do I have a
defense.
shot
Kicks
clock?
it to Allen. Oh, that rims in
the
just
shot
as the
clock?
shot clock was
saw it
ready
was
to
running
go
down.
off.
Yeah.
And the Nets have expanded to a 7-point
I'm minus
lead.
6.5 for the second half.
A commanding 7-point lead. And the two Chris are just making up betting lines as we go. I just don't understand it.
There we go. Get in
I've
there.
never seen anything like it.
That's it. Gotta drive to the hole now.
Knox brings it in. And
D'Angelo Russell's 11.5 over under points.
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
second
There's
half.
another
Yeah.
one. D'Angelo Russell.
It's in
Oh,
the
3.5 3-pointers, too. 3.5 3-pointers over on. He's hit
I
2
don't
in
know
the
why I
second
think
half.
that's so funny.
Russell, a crab. Russell.
Yo, stop playing good defense.
Back to Crab.
Get off me.
Crab.
That's how I grew up playing.
Oh. Playing
Crab's
deep.
an
Real life
underrated
also.
player.
I was a good defender.
Shoot it, guy who I don't
man.
know.
Oh.
See, you talked to me.
17
you distracted
seconds
me.
left. To
Let's go,
Knox.
let's
Up
push
to
it.
Knox. Knox.
Give me
Brings
that
it
ball,
back.
Knox.
13 seconds left. Looks like he's holding for 1.
Oh, cookies!
my-
What are you
Russell.
doing?
Who kicks it back to Crab? Who kicks it back to Allen? Who gives it to Joe Harris in the corner
good.
for 3? Oh, for 2. Joe Harris for 2. And what a turnaround that was. The Knicks had a chance to cut it to 3, and all of a sudden it's a 7-point
Another
game.
cookies.
Stolen again by Russell,
the
but
corner.
that
Oh,
was
you know
a
how to
big
steal, right?
turnaround.
Square.
Square, right? Yeah, yeah.
But sometimes they go
How
flying.
do you foul intentionally?
I don't know.
Who knows? But you got to start fouling intentionally already.
Yeah, I know.
Because Chris holds out the clock. He doesn't play around. He held it out in NBA Jam.
Oh, how do you miss
I
that?
missed
Wide
layup.
open
Much
layup.
needed layup.
And this is the Knicks we've come to love here. They play hard for the first 3 quarters. They make it a game. You think it's possible. They're
It's
down
so
by
true.
1. And then all of a sudden the 4th quarter comes and they fall like a house of cards. Nothing
say, I
you've
thought
ever
that
seen.
layup-
just too
I thought
true.
that layup
It's
was
too
going to run
true.
in and out also.
26-19, and let's get this game over with. This is I went to a Nets-Knicks game this year. This is exactly how the
Ooh,
game went.
D'Angelo.
The Knicks looked good, and then the second half came, and the Nets blew them
Oh, that was
out.
a terrible shot.
Not a good release. D'Angelo Russell. Jordan tries to go for the steal. Allen kicks the Crab. Crab
Chris,
to
what's the
Allen.
button for a...
Oh, and it is stolen.
For stealing?
Knox got a free lane.
Why did it
Swear.
say weak ankle?
Oh,
What'd you say?
slam slams it
I know. Do you know
home.
the control
That's a 5-point game.
for
Can
intentional
the
foul?
Knicks do it?
I have no clue. I don't even know if it exists.
D'Angelo looking to make a move. Here he goes, crossing, shaking and baking as Chris. Not the worst thing in the world.
Oh, that's done.
We paused it? Okay.
Yeah, it was a mistake.
That's all right.
I was trying to end the game since I was
They're in the
losing,
bonus next foul if you want to. 14 seconds. Oh, Smith looking to get that ball from Russell. Russell for three. He misses.
Nice.
I shot
Jordan,
it,
got to be a quick shot. Knox brings it up. He's got Smith Jr. there.
Bang.
Slams it. Oh,
Let's
they got a 3-point game. Oh, Dennis Smith Jr.
It's fixed.
Who was in the slam dunk contest.
The Nets just screwed a bunch of bettors on the
They
second
don't
half
even have to
line.
foul here, the Knicks, because it's a 3-point game. This is a one-possession game, 53 seconds left. Russell, Jordan just jumping. Don't leave him. Now Russell's out to cover Jordan. Jordan was out to cover Russell, and that's what happens when Jordan goes out to cover Russell at the 3-point line. He just blew right by him. Smith Jr. brings the ball up. Knicks got to work quickly here. 42 seconds left. Smith Jr. looking to make a move, but I think that was Joe Harris with the great defense. Back to Smith Jr., who gets in the lane.
Come on.
Did they call it? No.
No foul. Still a 3-point game.
There's a little bump there. There's a little
Still
bump.
a 3-point game here. The steal. Oh, he knocked it away, but he didn't get the steal. Russell brings the ball up. Smith Jr. Oh, no. Now it's Knox on him. Knox is covering
Knox
Russell.
is long. I'm telling you, Knox
Russell,
is long. I don't know if there's any backcourt.
There is a backcourt. This is an NBA jam. Very close to a backcourt. Oh, Allen brings it out. 5 seconds left on the shot. Blocked by Jordan. One. Russell puts it up.
It's the rebound. Wait, how do you foul intentional?
I have no clue, but
Here
I'll
we
shoot
go. Russell shoots.
Give you a chance.
Oh, no chance. Russell puts the nail in the
Man, if I knew how to foul intentionally.
6 point. But, you know, the play of the game was the offensive rebound, though. The offensive rebound was there. Smith Jr. puts it up, and that's
And they backdoor cover the 5.5 points.
The spread changed.
Yeah.
When Chris said it was a 6.5 cover and changed to a 5.5 cover.
5.5.
Just so Chris would win.
We used second half was
Good game.
6.5. but
Yeah.
Game.
That was very
You
fun.
covered the spread, but I won.
It was a good game.
that was the main thing.
The Knicks made it exciting at the end.
If the offensive rebound doesn't happen, who knows? He tried to start the field down 3.
I didn't believe it, but the Knicks made it exciting again. I didn't think it was possible.
This is kind of a microcosm of the
That
teams in
should
real
have been
life.
a charge,
Exactly.
but
But it was a good game.
questionable
And that's all
call.
the superior basketball team. They might not be the superior New York team yet, but they are the superior basketball team. But that's going to do it for us today on Brooklyn Versus. Guys, make sure to tune in tomorrow to Bridgeside Live. We got the Muckrakers performing at Bridgeside Live. Another great performance right here at Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. Send us any comments. What do you think about the Nets and Knicks little rivalry? Send us any comments on how bad you think the Knicks are. I'm always up for talking about that. But for Chris, sorry.
thank you
Have a great
guys.
show, guys. Thanks for watching.
of
We'll see you
fun.
next week.